All right, all right. Here we are, Jimmy. Back
How are you
again.
doing?
I am alive and kicking, and how are you?
I'm ready for Monday, Martin Luther King, to kick back and enjoy the day and dedicate it to that great leader is by saying thank you for day off.
Yes, that's right, Jimmy. I forgot. Monday is Martin Luther King, the observance of his birthday, and as you know, you're an entrepreneur. You're an attorney with your own law office. Uh, Working for yourself, you kind of forget there are holidays on the calendar. Is also, drum roll, the swearing in the inaugural of our president elect, Donald J. Trump.
I didn't have one room today, but now that you bring it up, sure. Happy day, great leader, Martin Luther King. Okay. Yeah, so.
Oh, geez, just happens to fall on the same day. But I mean, this kind of goes in line with today's conversation, or starting off with our conversation on the legacy of the outgoing president, President Joe Biden. Um,
Yeah.
I know he had some solemn words for us in his farewell address to the American people the other day. Did you catch any of it?
I caught it. I commend very much the speechwriter. He or she
Mhm.
did a great job, and he did a decent job of reading uh,
Teleprompter.
the proctor. Give him kudos for that. Uh, Look, I'm going to say this because it recently happened.
Yeah.
The day after Ronald Reagan swore in and Jimmy Carter left, many people said that's the worst president of all time. That guy sucked. Okay. And for many years, until we elected a couple of other people, he was high in that list. Now that he's deceased, and I've lived through him and through some other people, I would have to say he wasn't that bad. Was
Hmm.
there a crisis during his time? Sure. And for that matter, there was two crises during Bush, son. There was one crisis under Obama, okay? And we really have to take it, to a certain degree, how you're going to judge them. In fairness, uh, I like the friendship between Obama and Bush, and how at the funeral Bush totally ignored Trump, passing by, didn't even acknowledge his life, and said hi to Obama, and then sat down. Uh, but realistically, he's going to be one thing, a
Okay.
one-term president. That's going to be his legacy. Like it or not, that's a guarantee. Just
Yes.
like Bush, just like Carter. Uh, Kind of interesting. They just did a survey, and 50% of the U.S. population thinks that things are going to get better. Uh,
Mhm.
and these were the 52% that elected Trump because they thought that things were bad. So, how are they going to see this? That's a good question. There's always been a question in my mind: did he win or did Trump lose? And this is something that will be there. But I'm more concerned in these days of videos about Biden's legacy. There's a lot of things that are on video that really, how can I say this, are kind of harsh. Yesterday after the press conference, there was a question asked, and he asked, "Are you kidding me?" No, they weren't kidding you.
Yeah.
Uh, no.
I saw that about the hostage situation, the ceasefire deal in Israel and Gaza. They asked um, who should take credit for that.
Yeah, which is kind of a stupid question. Whoever asked that, if you
Yeah.
me, because it happened under Biden. We know that it's been negotiated for months.
Hmm.
And if they think that because Trump is threatening, I'm going to give you nose to you and to Rubio. You're not going to work out a deal in Ukraine and Russia because none of them are going to just take their losses and continue walking. That's not what Russia wants, and that's not what Ukraine wants. So you got to come with a better solution. That right now, uh, neither Hamas or Israel feels threatened by anybody. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say something that most people do not understand. United States is no longer a threat to civilization. You have a Panama people telling Trump, go take a hike. You have Canada telling our president, go take a hike. And you have Denmark telling our president, go take a hike. And he hasn't even been sworn in. So if you think that people are afraid of him, to you. So yes. But as to Biden's legacy, uh, it's going to be similar to Carter. Things were not worked out as fast as people wanted them to be worked out,
Sure.
but they were worked out. Part of the thing that we forget was that under Carter, they were able to bring back through Canada 12 people that were in Iran back.
Hmm.
And it was a great episode of the CIA and a great way recovery. The others took negotiations and basically they paid off a couple of people in Iran to make sure that they were released under Reagan. So let's not
That's
give
right.
Reagan more credit than he deserves.
That's very
But,
true.
but if you would tell me his legacy, I think his legacy is going to be better as a vice president than a president.
Mm. If if there was if there was something that um, will stay with me about Joe Biden's legacy, that will come to mind immediately is the two warnings he gave in his farewell speech. The first one was the perceived threat of the oligarchs, and then the second one is the perceived threat of the tech industrial complex. And I found both very interesting because one, they're both related to each other because of we know that the new oligarchs here in America would be the tech bros, the tech giants who have a lot of money. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Anderson, Sam Altman, and I could go on and on and on. Even Sam, I forgot his name, that was put into jail. It'll come back to me. But a lot of these tech company pioneers, CEOs, executives have a lot of money, and they spent a lot of money in this last campaign. And then, of course, that leads to the statements by Joe Biden. Did that resonate with you? Those 2 points?
Not really. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in my opinion, I'll give you the big two examples. Under Joe Biden,
Okay.
Elon Musk basically took over NASA. Okay.
Thanks to Obama. Obama did set that policy.
Okay. So that Bezos is Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon has been going on for years under Obama, under Trump, and under Biden. So
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm, what is he concerned about that? I am not sure. What I think I understand is what he's trying to say is, hey, these people are buying their way into politics, and I'm going like, yeah, is that something new, or is that something that President Eisenhower, you were not even born,
Yeah.
his farewell address said, hey, be careful of the
Yeah.
defense industry trying to take over.
Yes.
And he was right. Kennedy was killed because he was going to try to stop that. Johnson, who came from the Senate and from the thing of give me a couple bucks and I'll look the other way, had no problem with it. Richard Nixon was too crazy to even realize what was going around him. Uh, and I mean that seriously. After that, Jimmy Carter tried but was pushed away. They brought in Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan said, "How much? What do you want? Here, it's
Yes.
all yours." Uh, and he was the first person who sold out everything. So right now, yeah, we do have a defense industry that's out of control, and it's been out of control. That's why the largest budget of the defense budget is a lot of waste of money because of the industrial defense industry. And basically, at this point, what they're trying to say is like, let's take away all regulations and let business control whatever business controls. And that is something that concerns me more than that they're going to be influenced because between you and me, these people are not going. What they want was going to happen under any administration, which is basically let them make more money. Look,
Yeah,
Amazon, Bezos is going to come back and say you need to close down Timu because it's Chinese and Chinese people should not have Timu. Right now, it's kind of interesting that Biden's trying, but it's never going to succeed. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, you could close down TikTok. We don't care.
that's correct.
Now, the way they're going to close it down is kind of interesting, is by uh, not allowing the updates to come into the United States. And I hate to break the news to you guys. That's bullshit. There's a way to do that, but uh, let's think in a different way. And they're going to try to, and if they do that, then the other Musk is going to try to say, well, come back to X, but X
Yes,
does not have the things that TikTok has, so people are not going to come back to X because X is really not what the youth wants. So yeah, uh, Instagram, they're the people of your generation, 40 and 50. Yes, Instagram, but younger than that, they weren't
Snapchat.
TikTok. They were not. They were not at Instagram at all. So
Right.
where they're going to go? Somebody's going to create a new portal for them, and they're going to go there. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be one of our tech billionaires? Probably.
I understand. I did see a headline today, about maybe an hour or so ago, about ByteDance saying that, forget, a forced sale or anything like that. They'll just ban the app themselves here in America, and we'll never see it again. I know that there have been speculation that Elon Musk will buy it, or I think it's Leary. I forgot his first name, maybe Steve Leary, from Shark Tank, leading a group of business people to purchase TikTok. Yeah, we'll take a hit, J&W, because we have, a lot of followers on TikTok. However, there are alternative platforms like YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Meta, so forth and so on. Elon Musk is definitely trying to make X be like the end all app to everything. And he's building out, or plan to build out, many more features to the app. He already owns PayPal, so he's got a payment platform that takes any kind of payment, including cryptocurrency. He has his own AI that he's put a lot of emphasis into, a lot of focus, a lot of resources, and it'll look like it will be comparable to the other large language models like Claude by Anthropic, Google's Gemini, and of course OpenAI's ChatGPT. So I could see, if Musk is building out, more features to X. And he's always said that he wants X to be the end all of all apps. Have everything in just that app. I can see him making a significant move to take that market to purchase TikTok, or at least duplicate their success.
I doubt he's capable of duplicating their success. Let me say why.
Hmm.
Does anybody really understand why TikTok took off?
Oh, from what I've read, Jimmy, the short short form content that introduce us to the TikTok challenges, the TikTok dances, um, and immediate viral content, real time reporting led to its success, especially the
Look,
short form content.
each one of these apps have something to do. But one of the things that made TikTok was it's easy to operate. Okay, you really don't have in their own app you can edit. Let's put it this way:
True.
a little things in their own app you can edit.
Yeah.
Uh, it basically was created for entertainment. It was not created for the purpose of like in X where you're going to put in with 134 words, which was at the beginning a statement or
Right.
an operate. Okay, it was really never meant for politics, but it was the cheapest form that you could do
Yeah.
something different from Facebook that you had to do 10 steps to put in a business. Okay, and sometimes they would try to find a way to make money off that. TikTok, you could get there and say, "I am selling these cards for $3.95. Look how good they are!" And in a matter of 2 minutes, you post it, put it there, and you were selling stuff.
The monetization was a lot simpler.
Bingo! I don't think that Musk could do that. Plus, look, there are some apps that are created for different things. One of the most popular apps that nobody talks about, but is used immensely, is WhatsApp
Yes,
internationally.
that's
I,
correct.
I had an attorney the other day from Panama contact me and say, "Hey, I've been trying to reach you with WhatsApp, but you're not on there." I says, "Well, I'm not on there because the Florida bar made a thing that said that was not secure enough that you couldn't do anything legal through it."
Whoa! I
So
did not know that. I think is very
well,
secure now.
well, but it all depends.
Ah,
Secure and hacking, uh, there's, for example, my profession, there's certain things I'm limited what I can do on a text. And so on. I can answer yes, I'll be there at 2 o'clock. Yes, but going to a legal consultation, the fire bar recommends you don't. Uh, okay, and and let me put it this way: I've heard attorneys, and I'm going to say why we don't do it. It's because if you text or you go on WhatsApp and you say something, then you realize, oh my gosh, I never said that. It's in writing, so you might want to not do it that way. But
okay,
but the reality is that worldwide, if you're in Panama and you want to contact somebody in the United States, it's the cheapest way.
okay.
It's free. Let's call it out. It's free.
Yep.
So uh, if you have a cell phone number in Panama and you want to use text me to a phone here in the United States, there's going to be a charge for that text. Okay, and if you're not in the what you would call a Verizon Red or the T-Mobile or whatever, there's gonna be a problem. We know that sometimes, what you would call it, Androids and iPhones.
Yes.
Okay, and if you make a video too long, Androids has a problem. But if you go to the WhatsApp thing, you could see the whole thing with no problem.
True. That's very
Uh,
true.
and the other day, I did not know this, but most of the youth even get their news through WhatsApp. And there's been,
Really?
yeah, and there's been a lot of family contact, which was WhatsApp. So so what I'm trying to say is these things have their use. I am not sure if Elon Musk is going to be as supportive as the Chinese were of trying to create a TikTok.
Right.
Um, and one of the things that what they should have said this, which is the truth. Hey, the Chinese are supporting this. Really, we cannot compete with this. It's free, and all these things that they're giving away for free, we really cannot compete with that in the United States. That I think would have been a little bit easier to swallow than to say they're spying on us. Everybody who puts out an app, everybody who goes on social media is spying on you. Okay, so
Right. Their security is no different or no better than any of these other apps.
no.
Everything is hackable. There's no privacy anymore.
Well, not only that, when you talk about privacy, I'll give you an example. I went on eBay because I was buying a stamp and I because I collect stamps and I bought it, and all of a sudden I get all these things from eBay from other stamp dealers that have stamps. Tell me I should check them out, and the app is the algorithm is so stupid. I collect Puerto Rico stamps, and they're trying to tell me about somebody who has Chinese stamps and Washington State. I don't collect a Chinese stamp. Why? Oh well, isn't a stamp? No. So it is. Even when you use the onset Amazon, let's stop pretending. You buy something, and in a
Oh,
week
yeah.
they try to sell you the same thing again.
That's right.
You just
Yes.
bought this. Would you like another one? No, not really. But thanks for nothing. So yes, all of them spy on you. As a matter of fact, I swear to God that the argument between Musk and Frost was because Musk has a special thing that if you mention him, it gets to him.
Ah, yes, that's true. That's very true. Even on my ex accounts, I always see him there. Always see him there. It's like I'm not even following him. But yeah, I mean, some of the things he says are kind of like okay, but there are other things that he kind of brings to light, especially any of the AI breakthroughs or scientific breakthroughs he'll spotlight, and then once in a while you'll see Musk get into a Twitter war with someone with like recently Congressman. Max Frost, and that was getting ugly. It was getting really ugly, and I think Frost took it on to Blue Sky, and I was like, I don't even think Elon's on Blue Sky. Go back to X and duke it out over there. But it these are some strange times, and some of these tech advancements. We're in for a lot in the next 4 to 8 months, in my belief.
And by the way, the ban for TikTok starts this Sunday.
That's
The
right.
next, and the next day on Monday, you're going to be swearing in a president whose a swearing in ceremony will not be on TikTok.
Just when he was getting used to it, and they leverage his campaign did leverage the use of TikTok in their
Yeah,
campaign. They leaned into it heavily, and good for them. Good for them, and so did the Harris Walz campaign. It's just that I guess the content was a little bit more appealing in a humorous way, in a sarcastic way, and also more unconventional way. But I don't think we'll see the end of TikTok. Of course, there's other versions right now. I think there's one called Red Note or something like that. Chinese made, of course, that people are flocking to. But we've been leveraging the use of YouTube and Instagram and other similar platforms where we could create video uh, for the last several months. So for those who aren't prepared, it's unfortunate that they may lose their followers and all that content. Hopefully they've saved that content. However, this is business.
Well, hey, look, I'm going to say things that might show away certain thing. Okay, before Facebook, there was a thing called, and it was huge. It was really huge. But when I say this, people say, "Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that one." It was called MySpace. I don't know if
Yep,
you remember MySpace.
I
In
remember it.
parentheses, Facebook. Okay,
Yep,
Facebook took it out.
yes, it did.
Facebook has been there, and for the reality of the world, Facebook is for seniors
Yeah,
and nobody else.
that's true.
The people 30 and the 20s, they don't even look at it. The 40s and 50s, Facebook is not their thing. Instagram, maybe. They
Sure.
left, they left X because of Musk screwing it up. And most of those people, 30, 40, and 50, were at TikTok.
That's
I'm
true.
sorry, they were at TikTok. The thing of sitting down and writing a page and going on page and getting friends requests from people that you've never met in your life, but you want to have 2 million friends. So sure, I'll be your friend, even though you're a convicted felon with 4 rapes. Who cares? You're you're my friend book. Basically, it's great because on my birthday, get 200 happy birthday people tell me, of which 150 I don't even know who they are. Uh, you know, and basically, Facebook, you were trying to put a restaurant together. You would create a Facebook website, which you thought was a really website, but it didn't function in the
That's
way a
right.
website should. You couldn't take reservations on it. You couldn't take anything there other than people writing just restaurant sucks. So really, you know, you couldn't even you could put the operating hours, and every time you wanted to change it, you'd have to have to take 8 steps. So, including one getting back, hey, you're trying to change your website. Is this you or is this somebody else? Uh, so yes, Facebook, I think, in my opinion, is not the big platform it used to be. Neither is X, which used to be Twitter. It's not the big thing. Instagram is still a little bit there, but the big one that they eliminated was TikTok.
Yeah.
The other big one, because of its international functionality. Let's say you wanted to contact your friend in Spain, and he could WhatsApp you in 5 minutes with no charge.
Yeah. It where where America goes after TikTok goes away, there's always going to be something, and the other platforms will have an opportunity. And I've seen in at least the platforms that I monitor, a lot of improvements, AI improvements into their platforms. And I read a Pew Research Center white paper about the uh, partisanship of the different platforms. And Jimmy, would you believe that X was surveyed to be the most non-biased out of most of the major social media platforms?
Yeah,
It,
I believe that because realistically, there's very conservative platforms
yeah,
out there. There's very liberal platforms out there. But where both of them function and argue on a constant base, that's X. It really is.
yeah,
And one thing I would have to give credit to is that he could be a jerk, but uh, he allows other jerks to come in there and 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 chastise him because the way Maxwell Force called him a person, basically an idiot,
yes,
to the owner, which maybe if
yeah.
he did that at Facebook, he would have lost his page. So yeah, it is that. And I think they all have a function because if you want to talk about bias, WhatsApp really doesn't go into people posting their thoughts. It's more
Yeah,
of communication among people. TikTok, to be quite honest, I've always found that you're an idiot and you wanted the world to know that you're an idiot, you should be on TikTok. I mean, the things that you would go and I remember once looking and saying, "I've just wasted 7 minutes of my lifetime. What a waste!"
Jimmy, my first introduction to TikTok, um, when I went on and I'm looking at this stuff and it's like, what a wasteland. And then I found these cat videos that it just hooked me. And I would go down a rabbit hole. And I mean hours, Jimmy, of watching the cat video or watching this one husband continuously prank his wife. And it was just incredible how quickly you become addicted to this stuff that I was like, forget this, I'm shutting this down. And then for several months, I did not touch the app. I uninstalled it off of my phone. And then one of my young associates said, we should be on TikTok. The short form content will do us some good, seeing that we are doing, the different podcasts. And I'm like, hey, okay, we could do it. Get a Jay and Washington account set up, get it set up, tell me what to do. And, you know, like with our show, I learned to, just edit or have our TikTok do the editing or YouTube do the editing or our StreamYard streaming software do the editing. And boom, there's the short form content of our show that I put up there before I even put up the long form, the full unedited program. And we've got 10,000 viewers on 10,000 subscribers. And TikTok has delivered time and time again on the number of impressions that we have, and can account for sometimes between 40 and 60% of the impressions that we get on on our socials. And the conversations I've had with people who have commented on our shows across the board, they've been really good conversations and the opportunity to educate people and persuade them to watch more.
Well, it is interesting to say that because one of the problems that people that I've always said, you have 2 minutes to make a first impression,
Hmm.
because past the 2 minutes is no longer the first impression; it's the second or third. You have 2 minutes to get my attention.
Yep.
If I'm not drawn in, it is not. Uh, and what people do not understand is that the longer the thing, the least interested it is. And I'll give you an example. I'm becoming not, for different reasons, a fan of Bad Bunny. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. And he put out a new album called Debí haber tomado más foto, which is I should have taken more pictures. And really, what he's trying to tell the world is, you should spend more time enjoying life
yeah.
and just relaxing and not just living the moment, uh, which is the gist of his thing. He took an 82-year-old actor and did a 12-minute video. And that 12-minute video basically is the actor saying, oh my God, I should have enjoyed more. But then this 82-year-old guy goes to a bakery, which he had been all his life. So he goes in there and first of all, it's a Puerto Rican neighborhood, but the bakery has been bought out by a U.S. corporation, and there's a lady behind the counter that speaks Spanish with an accent, but perfect English.
Okay.
Okay. And he says, well, can I have this? No, we don't have that we're out of that type of sandwich. So she says, but we have a great pastrami sandwich. Well, in Puerto Rico, pastrami Maybe New York is great, maybe in Chicago, but not in Puerto Rico.
And Puerto Rico.
Okay. I said, okay, I'll take it. Please bake it in Puerto Rican bread, criollo, and can I have it with papa cheese, which is what? Papa cheese, which is potato cheese. It's the way it's translated, but there is no real potato cheese. It's that we call hard, sharp uh,
Cheddar.
cheddar,
Okay.
Papa cheese. Where that
Ah,
came from, nobody knows. So there's a cook in the back that says, yeah, yeah, I know what that is. Got you, old man, got you. Okay. Okay, the old man then says, and I would like a pastry which is made out of cheese. And she says, well, we have it with uh, vegan cheese. We have it with vegan cheese and guava. We have it with vegan cheese and mango. And he goes, don't you just have it with cheese? After all, it's a cheese pastry. Well, let me check. Oh yeah, we still have a couple of those. Yeah, they don't sell that much, but we still have. Okay, so at the end, he says, "How much is it?" $30. He takes out his cash. He said, "No, no, we don't take cash here. We only take credit cards. You know, if you want on your phone, you can pay with your Apple app or with your PayPal app." And he's going like, "You tell me that cash is no longer acceptable?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I don't have that. How am I going to survive?" And all of a sudden, she says, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't give you your food." Uh, and she refuses to take his cash. And then this young guy turns around and says, "Look," takes his phone, taps it, and pays for it. And it's going to give him $30. Says, "Oh man, you've given this country so much. I'm giving you back a little bit too." And that's where it ends. Basically, it is a thing of showing times have changed,
yeah.
and certain people need to adapt. I understand, but
Yeah.
it's really to the point that you're going to pay in a bakery with cash, and they're telling you, "No, you can't pay with. We don't take your cash." Which happened to me, for the record, at Austin's airport.
Uh-huh.
Austin Airport is a cashless. The whole concessions there are cashless.
Mm-hmm.
So it, and it is what Bad Bunny's trying to do is say, look, we don't need to change drastically. There's something in the old times that is good that we should keep, and there's some things that are coming out that are great. So yeah, but
Yeah.
he did that. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, he opened a residency in Puerto Rico. He sold out 21 shows over a million tickets in 24 hours.
21 shows. Wow. Bad Bunny, I'm not a fan of his music, and I also question his lifestyle, his persona. I'm still trying to figure out what he's trying to do. But however, I must admit he is a patriot of Puerto Rico, and he loves Puerto Rico and has committed to it, and I honor him for that.
Well, and to be quite honest, one of the things that I found interesting is that basically what he's telling people are social issues. If you really listen to
Yeah,
his music,
yeah.
he's criticizing the establishment, he's criticizing corporations, he's talking how we're destroying the environment, and I'm looking like truth, 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 truth.
And I
That
never knew him to be like that when I was first introduced to his music, and it's kind of cool to see him, you know, kind of lean into those causes. It's very cool.
yeah. And to be quite honest, to me, what's cool is this: I have a lot of faith in our youth. This is
Hmm.
something from a 75-year-old man telling you, I have a faith in our youth. My generation, we screwed up. Gonna call it
Mm.
out. We screwed up.
In what way,
We,
Jimmy?
we didn't take good care of the environment
Hmm.
at all. Okay. We basically, as much as we started well, This is my concern about the youth today. Look, I remember we stopped as much as we could segregation. We marched and did marches. We ended the war in Vietnam
Yeah.
as much as we could. And we tried to say that everybody was equal and destroy the draft as a
Yeah.
system and basically force the United States to take different areas. What happened is that after that, we saw the green and we let the green govern our life. And that's where we screwed up. Also, we screwed up because we learned in our 20s and 30s that our government lied to us. But then when we were in our 40s and 50s, we trusted the media. Why? I have no idea, but we did.
Right.
So there we screwed up.
And
Now,
and it's that generation right now that's leading this country.
oh yeah, and it's leading this country, and basically that is the thing. Now we will see what happens in 10 or 15 years, because right now the people who are not voting are the youth. The people who are not participating in anything is the youth. The
Yes.
people who don't trust anybody is the youth. And right now, do you remember that movie Idiotes?
Oh, Idiocracy. Idiocracy.
Idiots.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I'm not sure how far we are from that. Sorry. I'm not
I
sure.
I've watched it 4 times. I followed the Idiocracy uh, subreddit, and, and Jimmy, we are inching closer and closer, sometimes in a full stride, closer to what's happening in that movie. And sometimes, in conversations with my brother, I'll reference, some of the things in the movie that are present today, and I'm just like, you just gotta throw your hands up. But Jimmy, yeah, we're getting close.
You know what I did the other day? I
What's
walked
that?
into Costco.
Okay.
Now, this is a part of the movies that a lot of people forget. Where did his lawyer get his degree in law?
It wasn't in Costco. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Remember? I know that because Costco paid them about $3 million just to be a central of the movie. But when people tell me, "Oh my God," yes, yes, as a simple thing that if it rains and you put a grain and on the ground, corn will grow. They did not know that happened. Yeah, yeah. And
They
they
use
trusted whatever came out of a microphone, they trusted it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. And corporations, Brano, took over everything, and instead of watering the crops with water, they water it with Brano because it's got electrolytes. And so much imagery is coming up. The gladiator sort of scenes. The human versus whatever contraption or whoever. We see that celebrated, the violence celebrated in our sports, in our newscasts. If it bleeds, it leads, and on the internet, there's not a day that passes that. Well, I guess it's because it's in my Reddit feed, but there's different subreddits about people crashing out, freaking out, world star fights and things like that. That someone,
Look,
or even
come
about parents.
come Monday, we're going to have an idiot be the president of the United States. So why am I talking about this? Well, look, if you look at the premise of the movie, is that people become so trustworthy that if you say that this guy is a thief, hey, everybody's saying that you're a thief. You're guilty. Forget
Yes.
about it. You're going away. And the way he would turn around and talk to them, and people, oh, that's true. And he would get out of it. I mean, he walked out of jail by telling that he had been released.
That's right. I'm supposed to be in that line.
Yeah. And okay. Yeah. With all due respect, I love the movie, and people tell me, well, it's a stupid movie. Not really.
No, it's not.
Not
Mike
really. It's
Mike
quite
Judge.
very well put together. Look, there's a couple of movies that try to tell us about the future. The other one is Demolition Man, where this guy
Yes.
that everybody
Sylvester
and
Stallone.
that's the and with all due respect, Taco Bell paid $3 million to be the only
Yep.
restaurant in the future.
Right. Smart.
And everybody paid $500,000 for the commercials of Oscar Miller and this one that they were playing the oldie commercials.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, they were paid.
Yep.
That's what was a way of them making money. But the thing is that realistically, my generation, after first realizing that you couldn't trust the government, which to this day I would say my generation still doesn't, decided to trust the media.
Mhm.
And that was, I would say, our era.
But Jimmy, and kudos to Mike Judge who did create Idiocracy. Um, However, your generation, my mother and father's generation, my parents' generation, grew up on television personalities like Walter Cronkite,
Yeah,
and the trusted voice in media, and Tom Brokaw, Dan Rather, Ted Koppel, to name a
and two
few.
of those got taken off the air because they lied.
Mm. Yeah,
Look,
right.
one thing the other day I noticed, uh, Tom Brockhart, he's on no, who's Lester.
Lester Holt.
He made a comment that I don't think that most people picked up. They were reporting a study, and these are the results. And there's a lot of promise in this area, but I must state that the study was done by the company who produces these pills. That took courage because that was reported in CBS and ABC, and neither of those two people made that same comment.
Ooh.
This is a study, and this is what this study shows. Lester Holt said, "No, no, I'm going to put this caveat here that this study was done by the company who produces these pills."
Mm. Mm.
You know,
Journalistic integrity.
yes, which is something that has been lost for a long time. You have now Fox News that is ultra to the right. Okay, you have CNN and MSNBC that are ultra to the left. And to say that you have today, somebody can say it's in the middle straight.
Yeah.
There's nobody. There's nobody. But my generation, when they when we started distrusting the government, you're right. There was Walter Cronkite. There was some other people who would give you the nose as is, and basically you would have people that would report it correctly. That we gain our trust with them, but we transfer that to the other media, which did not deserve it. I'm sorry.
Jimmy,
Right
could
now, I don't trust any media.
Jimmy, could it be that we were more trusting back then because they were just given information or they learned about information through their journalistic skills? And there wasn't the internet, there wasn't social media and individual platforms. So we were more trusting back then from a trusted voice. Um, is it because we've evolved as far as media to the point that now our voices, independent, smaller voices, are more trusted because we're more at that level with the people. We're not at a big studio. We don't have commercials that sponsor the show yet. Hey, if you're a sponsor, please contact us. Um, there's no commercials. There's no ad dollars that help make this a success. Um, because of this evolution, is that because we're less trustful now because of so much access to information?
No, I think we
Mm,
we are more polarized. Look,
okay.
I hate to say this on TV. If you're on the left, you're on CNN, MSNBC. If you're on the right, you're on Fox or Nation News. That's where you are. So those are your sources. Uh, Realistically, that's why you have people who call things fake news. And people say, well, there's no lying on the news. Have you ever seen Fox News and Nation News? And sometimes even I catch CNN and MSNBC. Not, how can I say this? Bending the truth. They never,
Yeah.
MSNBC and CNN never really made an issue of how bad Biden was. They never did.
Yes. True. True. True.
News Nation and Fox News kept bringing it up. And after that debate in CNN, News Nation and Fox News, see, we were right. And
Yeah.
CNN and MSNBC, we were lied to. Uh,
Oh, come on.
yeah, so basically, people don't trust the media right now. But look, it's kind of interesting. Yes, you're right. Some people in my generation will tell me they saw something. I ask them where? Facebook. No.
Yeah.
I say, oh, in Livebook. And they say, oh, no, no, no. It's there. If it's on, I've seen people tell me that if it's on internet, it has to be true.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, Jimmy, the conversations. Whether it's my friend from the neighborhood in Chicago or my fiance, and they'll send me something like, "Look at this." I'm like, "Okay, okay, I've done my research on this, and this is the truth as I see it." And or if my Daisy's says, "Well, I heard about X, Y, and Z," and say, "And you heard it from where? What's your source?" And TikTok. I was like, oh my goodness. Is it?
No.
It
And
goes.
the amount of people who believe what they see on the
Whew.
internet is surprising. And not only that, there's people who go on the internet and deliberately lie. And they know they're lying, but they don't care.
Yes, that's right. That's right. There were lies about the man who was convicted of killing Laken Riley. I think it. Yeah, I think yes, it was a Laken Riley, and about his previous criminal history. And I listened to the New York Times, the daily podcast about what happened, and then I did my own research, and I had someone tell me that, oh, this guy was blah 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 blah. I was like, well, let me tell you what the research says about that particular incident prior to Lake and Riley. And they're like, no, no, no. And they were adamant. I was like, well, let me stop because I'm not going to argue anymore with you.
Well,
Where did
you don't
information?
have to go that far. This city, Orlando, Florida, where we
Yeah.
are, is famous, and infamous for a murder trial that the person was found not guilty.
Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony was judged on the social media and other places and
Yeah.
platforms. She was guilty. She
Yeah.
was a horrible mama. She killed her baby, and they were going to prove it in court. And to be quite honest, other than they found that the child, first they charged her with murder because the child had disappeared. They didn't have a body. They really didn't. Then when they found the body, the coroner said, and I quote, that she could not outrule that that child had died from drowning or natural causes because realistically there was no signs of violence. And then the jury hearing that says, well, okay, we're going to find her not guilty of murder. And everybody, but she murdered her daughter because on social media, she was guilty
Yeah.
2 years before she went to trial.
Yep.
Other trial that happened was O.J. Simpson.
Oh yeah.
We knew, we heard everything, and then when we went to trial, we realized that not everything that we heard on social media was true. And right now, the new one that is going to be interesting, and this is the one that has a life of its own.
Uh-oh.
Luigi.
Oh, Jimmy, yes. Oh no, no, I am not looking forward to all that media attention and just. I mean, for the most part, he's been made a hero for what he's done.
Yeah, well,
Allegedly have done.
and
And,
look,
and
to be quite honest, what is interesting is that people in this country vilify you for doing certain things
yes,
and glorify you for doing others.
that's true. That's true.
Look, the interesting thing is the kid who tried to kill Trump. Some people thought he was a hero, and some people thought he was a criminal. So that's part of our country. So we just got to learn to live with that.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you one last question before we finish. Are you ready for some craziness?
Yes, I am. Are you talking about the fuck up of the week?
Oh yes, coming next week we will start with the fuck up of the week. That will be something that we will start with our government. But I would like to do one thing
Yes, sir.
as a preamble.
Okay.
A requisite for a fuck up is that it is so outrageous that you could only call a fuck up.
Okay.
You know, mistakes are mistakes. Okay. And I'll give an example between one and the other. Basically, Biden going on and saying it was August when it was September, that's a mistake.
Sure.
But when he went on the debate and said that Social Security was dead, that was a fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you could get the date wrong. You could get the name wrong. You could even get the city wrong. It happens. But when the thing is a screw up, yes. And get ready because next week we're going to have some more hearings on the cabinet, and we've already had some whoppers of comments that have been said, and that is going to be interesting. So get ready for the fuck up of the week. With that in mind, before I forget and before we finish, subscribe, like. I don't even care if you don't like us. Do that too. At least it's a response to us. Also, if you do want, you could even do a short video against me. I'm happy with that too.
I like that. I like that.
Mr. O'Fine, you're wrong. Jimmy, you're an idiot. I'm fine with that. I don't care. That your freedom of speech is important to me. Everybody has a constitutional right to be an idiot. If you want to be one, be so.
I love it, Jimmy. I love it. A constitutional right
to be an idiot.
All right. Like Jimmy said, like, share, hit the notification button. Make sure you comment and send us that video. A 2-minute video. How about that? A 2-minute video and just telling Jimmy he's wrong. Or tell him that he's right. So, we really would appreciate that. And
or if you have a question, take 2 minutes and say, can you explain this to me? That's good too.
Exactly. The comments have been pouring in, Jimmy, and they've been good comments. I got to share some on there in the future in our recording. But this has been fantastic.
Okay. So we will see you next week when we will have a new president.
Yes, we will, sir.
God protect us, please, Lord, protect us.
All right, Jimmy. We'll see you the next time.
Next time, have fun.
You too.
Okay.
Bye now.